What happens if you die in the United States of America? What are the processes if someone dies in America? This doesn't matter whether you are immigrant or you are born, raised here in America. Procedures still continue to be the same. So I'm going to break down, but this will be specific for immigrants because we compare our life in America sometimes with the life where we are coming from, and assuming that everything continues to be the same. It is not the same. What happens there, the procedures are different from here. And because they are different, at the end of the day, you find out so many immigrants, maybe when they die, thinking that before they die, they left some of the assets, some of the money in the bank or somewhere else for their families. But it's not the case, because the assets, majority of them you have, they are going to be held by the government, by the process called the probate court system. So I want to break down to know the processes so that you cannot be one among the victims of what we are talking about. So in order to break down, I will start with the procedures where we are from. Majority of us are coming from different countries. So if you come from different country, let's say in Africa, let's say it's in Asia, procedures are different. What makes it different? When you die, the process starts with the family. In what sense? Before the funeral, usually they announce for the people gathering who have come for the burial service, that if there is any person who borrowed the money from the deceased person, will say, oh, I borrowed the money, so, or I borrowed this kind of thing, so I will return on this particular day. And who owe the deceased person, there are some people they come up, there are some people they let it go, all those kind of things. So that is the only way on how to collect debt, like whether you got something from the deceased or you gave to the deceased. So that is the process. Then people go for the burial. Once after the burial, the family meets together again to have the family meeting. And in the family meeting, they are going through different processes. In that family meeting, they have to document, they have to write down certain important information, because those information are the basics which you'll be using at the court of law when you're going to file for the distribution of the assets of the deceased person. So once you meet as a family, you'll decide who gets what. First of all, how much things we call it the value of death, how much things the deceased person has left. And another question will be, is there any will? If there is a will, you write down, did the deceased person decided which distribution will it be? If there is no that way, the family will sit together and decide who gets what. They write everything, then they go to the court. Depending on each country is different. Some they start with the primary court, some they start with the district court, whatever court it is, but it go to the courting system, which they'll be going to authorize and stamp, just give the order that this will be the distribution. And in that case, you can have also the court order to go and take the money and close the bank account, distribute the asset. So that means that is the process. But that is a different process in America. Assume my case, let me give my case. When I came to America, I arrived in my first state, 2008, is West Virginia. I was there for 1 year. Then I moved to California from 2009 up 2016. Then I moved to Missouri. So assume when I was in 2008 in Virginia, West Virginia, maybe I went to the dentist and I still haven't paid the bill. Assume that way. Or maybe you took certain property there, you still owe something. So those people are not able to come for their funeral. You are not that famous that everybody will know that you are dead, so that they can be able to come for the funeral service, so that they can advertise, they can announce who borrowed the money, who owed the deceased person. Then there is no that process. So because the process in the country, in the United States, is so huge, 50 states, it is like 50 countries joined together. So because of that, it is the duty of the government to protect the people who gave you something. You ask for money from some people, you took a credit card, you took something, have you paid all of it? So it's the duty of the government to be custodian of those other people, to protect also other people. That's the financial systems in America. Do you think these people, they just give you the money, they give you credit card, they give you a car, they give you the home? They needed to have a certain type of assurance they will get their money back even if you die. So that assurance comes from the government. So let's break down how that assurance works. It works as follows. When you are born in America, the first day the government official will come to that room, will give you the official registration, which will be used as a birth certificate and the social security number. If you are immigrant, come here, you are older, the first thing you will be struggling, whatever you want to do, is to get the social security number. I know you know the importance of social security number, how it works. But another work of the social security number is official tracking system. That means everything you do in America will be registered under that social security number, including when you are dead. When you die, the government, just like how you are born, the government is notified the social security number, so and so is born. So whether you change your name, you don't change your name, the social security number will never change. So the moment you die, the government is notified, because when you die, you'll be taken to the mortuary. If you die in the hospital, the same day the government is going to be notified that the social security number 111 blah 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 is dead, is no longer alive. So what the government is going to do is going to freeze almost, I use the word almost, 99.999% of all your assets. Meaning, if you have social security benefits, will be held by the government. If you have 401k, will be held by the government. If you have stocks, will be held by the government. If you have saving account, will be held by the if you have certificate of deposit, if you have just normal checking account, if you have the normal credit card, anything, whatever, that way. But there are certain things will not be able to be held by the government. For instance, like index life insurance, for instance, that is an example. Insurance are kept away from probate. That's what we usually say, what is the best way to avoid the probate court system? That is one of the way. There are other ways people are using systems. So wherever you have money, whatever you say, I will do anything to protect my family, one of the way is to protect them from the assets you have not to be taken all by the government. So the government will go and freeze all those kind of things. And then your family will work with the probate court system, which is the government. Whether you have a will, you don't have the will, but there will be people working with the government. How do they work together? You come together and you determine the value of death. Like this person has this social security, has this 401k, has this stocks, shares, whatever in this company, which worth this amount, has this money in the bank, has this money, whatever, all those kind of things. And then from there, the government is going to announce, government is going to find people who you owe money to. You are dead, so you didn't pay your credit card, you didn't pay the dental bill, you didn't pay the normal medical bill, you didn't pay this, you still have the mortgage, you still have this, you still have this. So they are going to find the people, all the debt, the people you owe to them, they are going to find them. Once they find them, those people have to be paid. They will pay all of them. The remaining amount, which is going to be left, then they are going to find the income tax. So assume you die maybe in March or in July or in August or in September. So between that fiscal year, that year, the day versus you said January, if you die in May, did you pay the tax January to May? Obviously not. So they will go and do the state income tax, the federal income tax, if your state has state income tax, and then from there, they are going to look back. Do you owe taxes prior years before, and you didn't pay? So after that, the remaining amount is going to be taken to your estate, to your family, in that particular way. So that is the way how it works. So what is the, if that's the case, what are you going to do to make sure that you are protecting your family, you are protecting your loved one? Let's say if you die today, how do you transfer that wealth? How do you transfer your assets? What formulation have you put there? So I'll give a few examples. One of the best examples is the Cash App. In the US, we have the Cash App. The Cash App is just like, for those people in other countries, just like a mobile money system. When you send M-Pesa, those kind of things, from one account to another account. So that is just like a Cash App is similar way, but is within the US. The founder of Cash App is called Bob Lee. So just go to Google search and type Bob Lee and write GoFundMe, or just write Bob Lee. B-O-B, Lee like Jet Lee, L-E-E. So Bob Lee is the founder of the Cash App. He was born in Missouri. Later he moved to California. He founded the Cash App. He is a millionaire of dollars. $1 million millionaire. That's how it is. So he lived in California for a while. Then he moved to Florida because of the crimes and so many things going on in California. So while he lives in Florida, he decided one day to go to California for some sort of meeting, something like that. But unfortunately, in the evening, he was having a walk or something. Someone came there and stabbed him with a knife. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He died. As I said, this information doesn't matter whether you are a US citizen, whether you are poor, whether you are rich. You needed to know these kind of things. What happened was, if you type Bob Lee, they started the GoFundMe. So if you go and Google search Bob Lee GoFundMe, his younger brother had to go and post on social media. And GoFundMe is where you get contribution, like how we do in whatever in your communities, oh, so passed away, you give some condolences. So did the contribution through the GoFundMe so that they can get the money. The goal they were looking for was $50,000. Remember, this guy is a millionaire, and they are looking for $50,000 to help them with the legal cost and some of the basics for the family. He had 2 girls, 2 children, both of them under the age of 10. So assume the millionaire is going to find a GoFundMe so that the kids can be able to survive. And it is written there. The reasoning they are going to look for GoFundMe, they didn't make 50,000, they ended up to have 15,000 US dollar. The purpose of it, because all the assets of Bob were held by the probate court system. So it was under the probate court. You have nothing. Why? Because the person didn't put the money in the accounts which are protected when you die. You might think that I'm not going to die today. I'm still very young. I'm still strong. I'm from Africa. I'm from Asia. I'm very strong. American life is very soft too, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, when the time comes, you never know. And in my opinion, sometimes it is easier and faster to die in America than in Africa or in Asia. The reason being, in Africa and Asia, yes, you might have some challenges, whatever, but the lifestyle allows you to be very active. In what sense? It's outdoor life. When you want to go to the market, you go to this floor in the building, you just walk, you walk. So a person who doesn't do exercise in a daily basis, he's walking 3 to 5 kilometers every single day. But for me in America, the indoor life, in order to go and walk or to have 5 kilometers a day, that means just right now I'm coming to the park to do exercise. But in Africa, for instance, that's the normal life. That's number one. Number two, in Africa or Asia, every single day you eat fresh meal, fish from the same day. You want to have a cow, slaughtered the same day. You want to have chicken slaughtered right away in front of you. But here, things have been in a lot of preservation. They have been there for weeks. That is another problem. Then it goes to the same thing on the food part. Here, it's very difficult and it's very expensive to eat fruits every single day. The fruits are not organic. They don't taste good, most of them. And they're expensive. If you buy organic, it's even more expensive. But in Africa, in Asia, fruits are normal things. Everybody, no matter how poor you are, it's easier to eat fruits. It's easier to eat vegetables. So if you have vegetables, you have fruits, you walk every single day, you have fresh food, meat, fish, whatever. So you are almost having natural immune compared to us who are here. So you move from wherever country you are, you come here, you sit on the couch, you watch Netflix, you come from work, you drive, you go and get something, you get from drive-through. You arrive here, whatever you do is just from your home. You get Amazon, you don't go to the market after, you go to the store after 2 weeks sometimes. So the chance of you getting sick is getting higher, higher and higher. So you are just like a lion from Serengeti, now you are a lion in the cage. In this particular environment, it is easier to get blood pressure. It is easier to get heart attack. It is easier. You might think, oh, I'm very strong, whatever. But it is easier to have those kind of things because you are not active, you are not eating well in most cases. So be careful and try to prepare yourself. What happens if you die? So we don't want to see your kids, your spouse, the people loved you will cry because you are not there. There will be so much pain. But don't add another pain that, so what happens to this mortgage? Are they going to take out our mortgage? Don't give them another cry, oh, they're taking the vehicle because you haven't paid the auto loan. Or they're taking the money in the bank, they're taking this one. Just solve that particular problem. For them, it will be the pain and the crying about you, not about the assets that have been held by the government, I don't know, for 1 year, 2 years. Just to give you a quick example, Michael Jackson died in 2008, 2009, but up to today, his estate is still under the probate court. That's how long it can take sometimes. So it's not about you die today and tomorrow you get everything. It can take years. So be prepared. So what is my final advice? So if you are in the United States, among other things, apart dealing with immigration, I'm licensed financial professional. So if I'm a licensed financial professional, I can give 2 hours, free 2 hours consultation about financial literacy, not only about this one, but about how you want to, if you want to invest, if you want to retire, if you want to do this on the financial aspect, how to deal with the debt management, all those kind of things. So if you are about to figure out what things should you do in America for your future in terms of retirement, in terms of investment, in terms of where should I put my money if I die, or what if I want to save the money and then get the loan from my own money without any particular type of big interest, all those kind of things. And if I don't pay back, I don't get punishment. So what you need to do as a licensed financial professional, I can give you 2 hours free of charge, free consultation. So what you need to do, go to my website, ebmscholars.com. If you go to website ebmscholars.com, and then you'll see the place say free financial education. Free financial education, if you click there, there is a form. Fill out that form, the form about you, where you are. You must be in America or in Canada. Then I'll be able to get in touch with you. I have to leave you a phone and email. I'll get in touch with you, and you can set up 2 free hours for consultation. Free financial education for me to explain these things in detail and beyond that. But in addition to that, if you don't want to go to the website, you can just go to my email, ebm@ebmscholars.com. ebm@ebmscholars.com. Title right, financial education or financial literacy, financial consultation. Then you can put your email there and where you are and your phone number. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and then you can move from there. Or just you can go direct to the website ebmscholars.com/ finance, ebmscholars.com/finance. There is a form there and you can be able to do that. So go ahead and prepare for that. Or you can go to the appointments, ebmscholars.com. There is click there, appointments. You can go there and select in the appointment. Instead of you select the day, it will give you 2 hours, but select the aspect of financial education to be free, and to give you directly the calendar, my calendar, and then you can be able to do that. So do that as soon as possible so that you can have the opportunity to get 2 hours free of charge on consultation or about understanding about the financial education of the United States of America. Just not only death, but while you are alive, how do you prepare to retire early? How do you prepare all those kind of things? Thank you so much. Stay safe.